Hi everyone. In this video, we're going to talk about how to find the weighted mean using a TI-84. So you see we have a weighted mean problem over on our spreadsheet. Find the weighted mean of the percent in favor of a new law. And in the data table, we're given the districts, the 4 districts we pulled data from, the percent in favor from that district, and the number of people who voted in that district selection. You'll also remember from class, the formula for weighted mean is the sum of the weights times the data values divided by the sum of the weights. So we need to decide which one is the weight and which one is the data value. To find out which one is the data value, we look at what we're finding the weighted mean of. And in this case, we're finding the weighted mean of the percent in favor. So this is our X value, and that means the number of votes are then our weight. That's important because I need to know which one is which when I go to do calculations. So I'm going to put the data values into my calculator. So stat, enter, and I'm going to put X's in list 1 and weights in list 2. So 59, 65, 32, 86 in that first column. In the next column, I'm putting the weights. So 52, 152, 101, 899, 21, 047, and 397, 231. For this formula for weighted mean, I need to know what the X's in column 1 times the weights in column 2 are. And to do that, I'm going to use a list feature. I'm moving over to list 3. I'm going to go up to the list name so that L3 is highlighted, and I'm going to enter a formula. I want the values in L3 to be the value in L1, the X value, times the value in L2, the weight value. When I do that, it starts to fill that column in. And you'll notice you see some funny values, 3.08 E6. What that means is that is a huge decimal that goes out past what this cell can show. That's 3.08 times 10 to the 6. It's 3,080,000 something. Even though it's not showing us the whole number, the entire number is stored in memory. So when we do math with these, they should still add correctly. All right, so we need two numbers. We need the sum of that third column, the X's times the weights, and we need the sum of that second column, just the sum of the weights. To find the sum of a list, we're going to run one-var stats. So I'm going to do this on L3 first to get the numerator of our fraction. I'm going to go stat, calc, one-var stats. I'm telling it that my weights times my data points are in list 3. And you'll notice that the second number it spits out is the sum of the values in that list. So I know the top of my fraction is 44535,773. I can then do that same thing with list 2, which is where I put my weights. If I go stat, calc, one-var stats, and then change that to list 2, it's going to give me the sum of the weights. So I can see from that second data point, sum of X, in this case, sum of weights, because that's what I put in my list, I get 572,329. Once I've done that, I'm going to go back to my home screen by pressing second mode, which is the quit function. And then I'm going to divide those two numbers. So 445,35773 divided by 572329. And we get 77.8149, blah, 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 blah. When we write that answer, we should write it as 77.8 because our x's were whole numbers. We want to round that to one more decimal place, the tens place. And we should write it as a percent because the original data was a percent. So the weighted mean for the percent in favor of the new law over all 4 districts is 77.8%. All right, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you in our next video.